What's going on, guys? So today I'm going to tell you a couple different ways to cut your cigars if you forgot your cigar cutter or if you don't have one. Now, before I get into the two ways you can cut your cigar using your body, which sounds interesting, the first simplest thing to do is if you happen to carry a knife. If you follow my channel, there's a good chance that you probably carry a knife regularly anyway. You're going to just very gently use the tip of your knife to either lift the cap on the cigar and remove it, or you can go around and just score a circle to make your cut. All right, but if you happen to get caught without a cigar cutter and a knife, like I said, there's two different ways you can cut your cigar using your body. So I'm going to explain that in this video. Today I have an H. Upmann the Banker, just because it's a double cigar. When I say double, I mean a cigar that I've already smoked before. I actually think I've done a review on it. So I'm going to use that as an example and then enjoy the cigar off camera. So this particular case has a bunch of stuff going on with the footband and everything else. So I'm going to, actually I don't even need to take any of that off just to show you this for the demo. So with premium cigars, there are caps, okay? In this particular case, there are two caps that are very distinguishable. Actually, there's, yeah, looks like there might even be a third cap. But hopefully you can see it, there's lines that go across here. It's literally a small circle of tobacco. So when they roll these cigars, there's a cap on the ends. When you're cutting a cigar, usually you're cutting through the cap. Sometimes if you cut close to the edge, you'll have a little strip of tobacco. That's what's left over from the cap that you didn't cut. In this case, all we're going to be doing is removing it. Now, the most rudimentary way to do this is called the Cowboy cut. The Cowboy cut is using your teeth on the end of that cap and literally biting off the end. Now, you've probably seen this in maybe old westerns or something. Someone pull out a cigar, go, and spit out, the cap, because obviously you don't want to swallow that. And that will obviously expose the inner leaves of the tobacco so you can smoke it. That is very crude. Most people won't do that correctly anyway, and you'll end up ruining the cigar. So what I suggest is what's called the Cuban cut. The Cuban cut is basically the same thing, only we're using our tip of our thumbnail to score all the way around the cap. All right, you don't need to have long nails, but you need to have at least just a little bit of nail protruding. Some guys like to cut their nails super short, okay? I like, specifically for my thumbnail, I like to have just a little bit there for whether it's lifting a cap on a soda can or scratching something. I always cut my nails short, but not too short where I can't actually use my nails. So what you want to do is just take a little bit of that protruding nail, and you're going to go around. Let me show you this. Let me line it up. So I'm putting my nail at the edge of the cap. I'm going to push down, so I'm basically using my nail kind of like an edge, and cut in and slowly rotate the cigar, okay? So by doing this, I'm just scoring that cap so that I can lift it off. All right, and you'll feel it. You want to be careful. Obviously, your cigar has to be properly humidified. Otherwise, if it's too dry, you're going to end up cracking your wrapper doing this. Okay, that could be a common problem. But by going around and scoring, I'll be able to lift off the cap, exposing the inner leaves, so I can light and smoke this cigar. Okay, just like so. You can see how this is lifted now. I'm literally peeling this away very carefully so that the cap is removed. In this particular case, I still have to cut through the tail end of this cigar because this one is rolled all the way underneath. All right, there's the actual cap. But I'm going to do that again. Just going to go around in a circle and just pull off the very end of that leaf. Okay, which is going to expose the inside of the cigar. All right, you can see that hanging. Very careful. All right, you can get some trouble if there's a large vein or something, because then it can grab the end of the vein and just pull all across your wrapper, which would obviously not be a good thing. All right, so there it is. There's the exposed end of the cigar. There's a little bit of lifted tobacco. You can pull that off if you wish. In this case, just to clean it up so it doesn't get in your mouth. And then we're good to go. No cutter. And this is ready to be smoked. So let me take off this other wrapper here, because I want to light this up just to show you that it's ready to go. Okay. Okay. So you can see, same cigar, in case I brought that off camera. Got my lighter. There we go. One benefit of having cameras, I can see what's lit. And they're all set. So that, like I said, is worst case scenario. You have a nice cigar with you, you don't have a cutter, if you happen to be unprepared enough to not have a knife on you, there's still a very simple technique you can do to have your cigar ready to go so you can smoke it. Now, like I said, the Cowboy cut, maybe kind of cool looking, I guess, but there's way more chance of ruining the cigar or just mangling the end so much that when you're smoking you get bits of tobacco in your mouth and stuff. You know, it's a preference thing. I don't prefer that. I wouldn't do a Cowboy cut. I'd rather just not smoke the cigar. But I did want to mention it because some people out there do that. They do that regularly. They just think it's kind of cool. Whip a cigar out of their pocket, chew off the end, essentially. I mean, using the tip of your teeth, just at the very tip of the cigar to pull off the cap. They're not actually biting a chunk off, because that would ruin the cigar completely. But like I said, the Cuban cut, using your nail, kind of working those caps off so you can expose the inside, works totally fine. So you don't need a cutter. Although I have to say, it's good to use one. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully you found it entertaining, possibly educational. Maybe you learned something. And if you ever get into a pinch, at least you know you can still enjoy that cigar. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. And I'll see you tomorrow with another video. Take care.